What's up, guys? Nethervvoid here with some more War Thunder for you today. And okay, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not getting any sound on this video. I've been wanting, when I was back playing War Thunder quite a lot, the one plane I had unlocked that I really wanted to get was the Typhoon. I think maybe partially because the name was cool. It's kind of neat to fly a plane with a cool name. I don't know. But it was definitely one of the first planes I unlocked that I felt in the old economy that I could not buy. It took forever just to grind out cash in the old economy. And I was buying actually the lower tier planes because I could afford them more easily. And to be honest, you know, after coming back to War Thunder and after playing some tanks in between, you know, my stints of War Thunder, like up to about episode 40 is the first season of the War Thunder show is all my first time in War Thunder. You know, back in 1.27 when I started, how the economy was, you could, you know, fly 2 games, buy a plane, fly 2 games, buy a plane, or fly 1 game, buy a plane at the lower ranks, you know, I don't know. But, once, you know, 1.31 hit, and, you know, 2.9 and 3.1, and the economy changed a lot, I think the perception at that time was people were so used to 1.27 that 1.29 and 3.1 just felt horrible, you know, and it was compared to 1.27. But since I've played War Thunder, since I've played World of Tanks in the meantime and stuff, and kind of noticed how the economy works there, now I'm kind of buying tanks at different. It would be more like buying rank 12 and 13 or 14 planes. That's the kind of stuff I've been buying lately in tanks, in World of Tanks. And I've noticed that I play a lot more games in between buying tanks in World of Tanks than I do in War Thunder. Especially since the new economy. There really was never any grinding in 1.27. You know, especially 1.27. Maybe like when you got to rank 12 or 14. Now I'm talking about on a premium account, even using some premium planes. Okay, A6 M3 coming at me, and I get out of there. He has a lot bigger guns than I do. One thing I do want to talk about the Typhoon is that it has 7.7 millimeter guns, so it's throwing out a decent amount of lead, but the guns are just not uber powerful like you'd expect from them. If you just watched my previous video, you know, 3 20mm cannons on a German plane with stealth ammo, just gonna rip you apart, even in a head-on. You guys saw me tear apart even some 37mm planes that, you know, have generally or historically held basically top dog as far as flying straight at each other with that 37mm cannon, and generally still do if you get some good shots right away. But anyway, the 7.7s make this plane totally different. But let's get back to the economy discussion I was just talking about. So one thing I'm okay with, I think, there's a couple things that I think are better now with the war. They're not really better. There's one thing that's better, I think, with the economy the way it is and the way the game is in War Thunder. And there's a second thing that I think is just a perception thing. First thing that I think they've done really well, and I loved so far anyway, because there's, you know, well, yeah, I love it actually, is the new way they do equipment. Or modules, I guess is a better way to put it. The way now is there's like 20 different modules to unlock. They're actually fairly costly. In comparison to the cost of the plane, they're not that bad. I would liken them quite a lot to World of Tanks. World of Tanks might actually have slightly, well, it's about the same as World of Tanks. I think they probably took the World of Tanks model and just slapped it on War Thunder. I like that they have incremental upgrades to your plane. You know, probably one of the most noticeable ones is when you get like extra 100 horsepower on your engine for an upgrade in this game. You're gonna notice a lot of difference in the plane, the flight models, even in arcade. It doesn't really matter what mode you're flying in. You're gonna notice a lot of difference. I do like that. It can be frustrating at times to unlock the nice premium stuff in the tier 4 on a plane because it takes a lot of XP. But again, another nice thing is there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. You feel like you're getting incremental upgrades as you go along. It helps you fly that plane and feel like, hey, I want to fly this plane again, even though I just flew it 5 times, not just because I like flying it, but because I really want to unlock the next thing. I really want to, and that's kind of an achievement, something for us achievement-oriented guys. If you liked World of Warcraft with grinding out 5-mans or raiding or anything like that, it's mainly about the achievement of beating a boss and things like that. So that I think they did a good job of. I'm really impressed with their thought processes there. Not that they're first or anything. War Thunder, obviously, or World of Tanks did that first. Wargaming did that first. And I'm sure other games did it before Wargaming, so it's not like it's anything unique. But one of the other things that I've noticed, and I'm kind of okay with, is, oh, there's some paratroopers. That's cool. I think, did somebody shoot down a plane? I don't know. I don't see a plane in the list that has that many crew members, but maybe they're just now getting to the ground. But anyway, is the economy, I don't think, is as bad as we think it is. The only different, okay, so here's a couple differences. Most people that have played War Thunder probably played World of Tanks. I would say that's a pretty good given. Now, it's going to be even more so when they come out with a tank line, which I think is going to be coming in like November. That would be really nice, and I'm jumping all over that when it does hit. I'll be collabing. I'm going to be doing everything I can to get videos out for you guys for War Thunder tanks. But anyway, one of the main differences with, I think I just lost my train of thought. I had a really big revelation. Okay, is that in World of Tanks, let's be honest here. Tier 5, not that much fun compared to what tank you're playing. And I think a lot of it is because some tanks are just much more powerful at Tier 5 than other tanks. Now everyone, there's always going to be someone who says that's not true or whatever. But I'm telling you, a KV-1 is not the same beast as a PZ-3-4. On a head-to-head, all player skill being equal, the KV-1 is going to win the majority of the time because it just has better stats. You know, it can take more punch, it can take more hits, it has better armor. You know, it's pretty slow, but, you know, again, all things being equal. To me, in my opinion, and actually the bigger thing to think about there is the level of power between Tier 5 tanks and tanks that you're going to go up against in a Tier 5, like Tier 7 tanks, is monumental, okay? It's gigantic. A Tiger versus a KV-1 is like, how is this even close to a competition, right? Another one might be an IS versus a PZ-3-4. You know, I'm sorry, but you're going to die. If the IS is going to kill you just about every time. Another example, another good one is Tier 4s and Tier 6s. An M6 versus a T-28. The M6 is going to dominate the guy's face, okay? Because there's such a big disparity between damage values on the guns and armor and stuff between just a couple of tiers. And that's why people generally hate people generally hate playing at Tier 4, 5, and 6 and stuff like that because you get matched up against tanks that are just way, way, way better. When it starts to get fun is when you hop into tank tiers where even though you're still outmatched by the guys a couple tiers above, it's not so obvious that they're just way better, right? Like a Tier 8, an IS-3 for instance, can still kind of battle a Tier 10. Now, they're not going to... The Tier 10's probably going to win, but it's not like every shot you fire dings every freaking time, even off the side. You know what I mean? Some tanks at Tier 4 have problems penning Tier 6 tanks even in the side. They have to get behind them in the back to actually damage them. And so that's where World of Tanks is a lot different than War Thunder. Because in War Thunder, the IL-2, a rank 5 plane, is one of the most dominating planes in this game. It's got insane guns. I know people have corrected me before, and I'm going to remember it now, because usually when I get corrected, I remember it. Two 23 mil guns, which rock face, they have a huge fire rate. It also has some machine guns and rockets, and I mean, that thing is loaded to the gill with firepower. I can take on rank 9 planes with that thing, almost double the rank, and we can fight. We can go toe-to-toe, and the guy who has the skill is probably going to come out on top. Anyway, let's pause it real quick. We'll get on back to this in a second, but 0 kills, 4 kills, 0 deaths, great game. I'm liking the Typhoon. It's not as good as I would hope, but we'll talk about it more in a second. Hold on. So we're back, and that last game wasn't all that beastly, really. I just think it was a pretty good game, and it was all Typhoon, which I've been wanting to show you the Typhoon. It's a game It's a plane I haven't flown for you guys yet, so I'm kind of excited about showing it to you. So anyway, here I'm flying out with the Typhoon again. I've been really trying to unlock the whole thing. I've got about up to Tier 3 fully unlocked, and now I'm kind of working on the last bits. It has become a lot stronger with the stealth ammo, just because it typically punches harder, and I've gotten a lot of upgrades as far as making the plane, turn tighter, have better better engine horsepower, all that stuff. So it's gotten a little bit better, but I'm generally not as happy with it as, like, say, the Hurricane. The Hurricane that has 12 7.7s just dominates compared to this plane. This is still a good plane, but if you've flown the Hurricane 2, you know it's a dominator. And that is like a rank 3, I want to say. And you can go up against rank 5s or 6s. Like, I could fight against an IL-2 and possibly win if I can get in close and kind of turn fight with him. I'm probably going to kill him. Again, in my opinion, War Thunder is more of a skill game. It's more skill-based than World of Tanks. I like that. Because so in this game, I almost always have positive kill death. Almost every time. I might die once or twice and I'm getting 4 to 6 kills. That's a pretty average game for me. And I think it's because skill just shines in this game. If you're good at this game, if you know how to turn, if you mastered how the plane is going to drop on someone, if you've mastered how to aim correctly and kind of hold the mouse on target. And I'm talking all for arcade, and it's even more so in heroic. There, I do it again. I never say that unless I'm in a video. Anyway, historical battles, which in my opinion is even more skill-based. I like a game that's more skill-based, especially with this kind of combat game. World of Tanks is great, but too often it allows mediocre players to put up decent numbers, and a lot of it is because, like I've already said, that high-tier tank has a really easy time fighting lower-tier tanks. So you can go up against a guy with really good skill and just beast him out with your stats. The stats of your tank. So skill isn't necessarily the determining factor in a battle. In every 1v1 match is what I'm saying. Overall, in every game, I still feel that overall, over 1,000 games, skill does play a part. It's just so small. That's why you see people with like 53% win rate, and it's like a big deal. 53%, that's it. If you consider kill-death ratios in War Thunder as the defining factor here, if I'm getting 2 to 3 kills per death, that's like a 66% skill-based ratio right there. That's a 50 to 60% or even higher, depending, right? And that percentage shows you how much more the game relies on skill than it does on trying to help. Basically, what the World of Tanks is doing is they know a lot of people are not going to be good at their game. If they give their game to 1,000 people, just random people that might want to try it, they know that, let's say, 500 people are going to be dog nasty at their game. They're going to be horrible. They don't know about angling. They don't research the game at all. They don't try to figure out how to play. They don't watch guides. You guys are pretty rare. You watch guides. Most people don't ever even think about watching a guide. They come home from work or school or whatever, they hop on tanks, they derp around. They don't care what happens almost. They want to be good, but they're not going to spend time to figure out how to be good, okay? So what typically happens with gamers like that, on a combat game especially, where it's PvP, they're not good at the game, they're getting their ass kicked all the time, they quit. They stop playing. Now what happens if you're a transaction-based game, or even a subscriber-based game, and people quit your game? You're losing money. So Wargaming said, okay, let's make a game where we can minimize the effects of skill to the greatest ability possible to do two things. To keep people playing that are not good at the game, keep them paying money, and 2, to give just enough skill in there to keep the guys that want to play a skill-based game interested, okay? But I'm telling you, a lot of people are so frustrated with the way they do Matchmaker and the way they hold everyone's hand that they've left that game. The people that really want skill have left that game. I'm not talking about people that like Clan Wars. It takes a monumental amount of time and investment to play Clan Wars. There are tons of competitive FPS combat guy type people who don't have the time for Clan Wars and won't play a game. Put that kind of commitment into a game. They just won't. They want to learn how to play the game, and they're going to spend time with guides and all that. But once they're good, quote-unquote good, they don't want to invest 20 to 30 to 40 hours a week on a game. So they left this game. They left World of Tanks. They're gone. But if you look at a game like War Thunder, you can actually just play. Like, I haven't played this game in how many months, guys? Months and months and months. And granted, this is arcade. A lot of people think there's no skill in arcade. But there is. If you look at my kill-death ratios, there definitely is some skill involved. But I can still be pretty good. I don't have to know. I haven't. It's like riding a bike. I jumped back on the bike. I might have fallen over once, or twice or whatever it was, kind of relearning a couple key things, but after that, I'm good. I can kill people again, you know? So, and I think that's the major difference. It really does affect the economy, okay? That affects the economy hugely because you don't have to have a rank 14 to 16 to 18 playing in this game to have fun, to feel like, you know, your skill can actually affect the outcome of your game. I can do it with a rank 3. I can do it in a biplane. I can do it. I can do it right when my game starts, and that's why this game is fun. That's why it started. Everybody loved it in the beginning, and really the killer of it with a lot of people was when they switched the economy, because people expected it to never ever be a grind, and when you had to do a little bit of grinding, boom, in your face with rockets. Now I got a wing out right here, and I just wanted to show you, just watch what happens. I'm surrounded pretty much. I got 4 guys on me. I'm the only guy in here. Some bombers are coming in, I think. I've already rocketed a guy to the face. My rockets are on cooldown, and I have a wing out. So we got some bomber types flying in. They might not be bombers. Okay, Ju-88, Ju-88. Guys are all over us, right? Wildcat. He's basically, wow, he should have shot me right there. He's scissoring me. I'm not sure if he is lagging or something. I'm not getting my rockets back anytime soon. So now he pulls away. He pulls off me. I'm trying to stay on him, but I got a wing out. It's hard enough just to turn. Boom, you're dead. This plane's alright. It flies a lot like the Typhoon. It does have the 2 500-pound... No, those are 2,000-pound bombs. Really nice for this kind of a map. I really wanted to bomb some ships, but it just wasn't clear enough to bomb ships. But anyway, so that's the differences, I think, with the two games. And that's why I really think War Thunder's the better game. They screwed up a little bit by making such a drastic change to the economy like that. What they should have done is done it gradually over time so that it wouldn't piss people off in the wrong way. Now I'm flying back to land because I'm all jacked up. So they really need to not do that. Now when they come out with tanks, hopefully they'll have learned their lesson and they're never going to have a crazy, crazy economy like they did where, you know, you could play for 5 minutes a day and unlock every plane under the sun. Now, am I saying I don't want to see them help us out with the economy anymore? No. Any bone they can throw us the economy, obviously as a player, I'm going to think is great. I'm just saying I think people need to reevaluate their perspective on the economy. Play World of Tanks. Play that game for a while. It becomes enjoyable, really, in my opinion again, at Tier 7 and above. That's rank 14 and above in this game. I'm having fun in this game. I've never even been above rank 8 or 10. I don't need to be above rank 10. In fact, a lot of people think, I don't know because I've never been above it, but it's more enjoyable at the lower ranks. That the higher ranks are actually less enjoyable. So if you think about it in that perspective, yeah, it's nice to have that advancement and unlock new planes and have... I like that too. I'm an achievement-oriented person. I like raiding, and I like raiding. I don't do it anymore because I'm kind of burned out on it. I've done it a lot, but I like it. You know, I'm very achievement-oriented. When I kill a boss, even though it's against the computer, I have a huge feeling of achievement. And that's what I think people still need in this game. They want to feel like they're advancing, even if they're never going to fly the planes. They have the option to fly them if they want. So I don't know. I think I think War Thunder's getting a new lease on life, especially with, you know, being brought over to Steam and stuff. That's a huge thing for them. And then when tanks come out, it's going to be a whole new ball game, guys. Tons of people don't care about flying planes. Tons and tons and tons. But people love playing tanks, like I said. I love World War II. I've studied a lot of it. I actually have a chronological atlas of World War II in my bookshelf. It's like 200 pages of glossies of battles and who did this and who did that and all the generals and all that. It's awesome and I love it. But I really loved World War II tanks. That was my main thing. It's what I always, you know, that was just what I liked. I loved aircraft, but I like the modern aircraft. I'm not... World War II aircraft, great, but not my thing. And probably part of that's because I was in the modern Air Force, so I know most of the modern planes. But anyway, kind of messed up on that landing, but I did land. That's all that matters. I'm going to repair. But I can't take off, so I got to really be careful right here. Well, there's nothing I can do. If I get bombed, I get bombed. But so I think you need to reevaluate what you can think about War Thunder if you haven't been playing it. Jump back into it and just enjoy the lower ranks. It's like your Tier 7 or up to 10 already. It's not like a rank 10 plane's going to come in here and cause me not to have any fun. Again, the best thing to do is flatten out your ranks if you can. Almost all my nations have like one rank between them, like all rank 7s, like 3 rank 7s and 2 rank 8s, or I might have 1 6 in there that I rarely fly anymore and stuff like that. But just try it again. I'm having a blast, and it's just going to get better when tanks come in. Luckily, I got off the runway before this Air Cobra got in here and actually crashed like a moron trying to kill me. Oh, how do you do that smoke trail? I want to do that. I think you used to have to go in your config file and turn it on. I'm hoping I don't have to do that. Anyway, not a bad game here. Kind of some fun action there toward the end where I rocketed that guy in the face and then I took another guy out who scissored incorrectly. And basically I outskilled him there, or his lack of skill is why I got the kill on him, even with the wing that was out and I could barely turn. So anyway, that's the Typhoon. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like I said, it's not as fun as the new 20 mils though. And there you go, Battle Trophy, 15,000 credits, really awesome. Unlock some more of the Typhoon. And let me know what you think about this plane and War Thunder in general and the economy and all that stuff. So I'll see you guys next time.